Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Florida Man Weekly. I'm Stubbs.
And I'm Corn.
And we are so glad you joined us once again, whether you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, or if you're listening to us later on any of your podcasts. It is October 6th. We are in October.
Man, this year's been going by pretty fast.
Crazy. And I've heard from a lot of people on social media how cool it is up north, and we're getting none of it. It is so hot here.
It is just as humid as it was 2 months ago.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I kind of have a theory behind that, Corn. I think it's because we have so many crazy people here in Florida. You know, just the weather just doesn't want to cooperate with us.
I think the rampant meth use creates more heat in the atmosphere, and that makes people hotter and makes it, in turn, makes them more crazy.
And we do have Tampa to the west.
That's true. All that pee odor. Oof, man.
All right. Well, jumping right into today's first story. Comes out of, I believe, not quite sure where this is actually, to tell you the truth, but this is Amanda Strickland. She was next door neighbor to a family. No big deal. A lot of people, as the word implies, next door neighbor, you're gonna have a neighbor.
Yeah, our neighbor's
right?
pretty normal.
Unfortunately, however, this neighbor of hers was a family, had an 8-year-old girl, and this 8-year-old girl passed.
Oh, sorry.
She passed during a tornado where a tree actually fell on their house, and unfortunately, she didn't survive the tree fall.
Wow.
So,
condolences to their family.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So being any good person, the story starts off really great. Amanda here decided to set up a GoFundMe campaign to raise money for the family, for the funeral cost, to kind of help them out in a tough time.
Yeah, sounds like a good neighbor. Any standard issue good neighbor.
Absolutely. Well, Amanda here was able to raise $14,000 in just 1 week alone, believe it or not.
That's pretty good.
Yep. After the 1 week, she actually wrote $13,000 over to the family. She cut the check. The $1,000 went towards some of the fees that GoFundMe have, and she kept a little bit of it. And this would be a great story if that's where it stopped, right?
With
this being Florida Man Weekly, we know it does not stop here. That's right. Amanda decided to keep on going with this GoFundMe campaign without letting the family know.
Oh, man.
Yep. This campaign ended up raising a total of $21,000. That's about, $17,000 more than what it was, $7,000 was more originally that was raised.
Wow.
Yep. And what did she do with this? Did she go to the ASPCA for puppies? Did she go to another family? What do you think she did, Corn?
I'm thinking she used it all on scratch-offs.
That's very, very good. But that's wrong. She actually just ended up pocketing it, because it is Florida and no one gets paid well here in Florida, unfortunately.
That's very true.
However, this did come to light because people were still following the campaign that were friends with the family, friends with Amanda, and they actually had some morality to their souls, where this semi-ginger does not.
Oh, man, you gingers.
Yeah, so she got turned in.
Soulless gingers.
Absolutely. So basically, she had to make bond, $1,000. She's waiting for a court date now to see what happens. But basically, it's kind of grand theft because it's over $1,000, the $8,000, and there's terms in GoFundMe as well and any other fundraising platform that if you don't spend the funds as you advertise, it's
they
legally liable, or they can cancel it. Yeah, absolutely. Because we all remember that story a while ago with the supposed homeless man and that family.
Oh yeah, they all got indicted.
Everyone was. That was a big.
I think they gave the homeless guy like $10,000, and they kept the other $400,000 or something, some ridiculous amount.
Yeah, it's crazy. But once again, this is our first story. This was out of Tallahassee. I just found that out. Tallahassee, Florida, the old capital. Gotta love Florida.
Gotta love Florida. And if you want to donate to my GoFundMe for a poor dad with 3 kids,
I'll just take $50.
Just joking.
All right. But yeah, that's our first story to start it off with. I think it's pretty good kind of start for tonight, the first week of August.
Yeah, definitely.
October.
Definitely. That's a solid one to start things off. For our second story, we're going to move right out into Lake County. That's for you people that aren't familiar with Florida. That's Umatilla County. As a father, as a father of a teen daughter, I live in constant fear daily.
I can only imagine.
Based on her mood swings and whatever's going on between what boy she's talking to, it's nuts. But this story, 17-year-old Alyssa Hatcher was arrested Tuesday, and apparently she borrowed her parents' debit card to not only purchase cocaine.
Oh, wait. They take card now?
Pretty much. You don't know about the Cash App?
Okay, no Cash App. Okay,
Cash App,
I'm
Venmo?
thinking the dealer had like a square swipe or something, or dial in the numbers.
I'm pretty sure our Florida dealers aren't that savvy.
Okay,
But
cash though. I mean, Cash App is an app.
Well, I think all right. So she withdrew some cash specifically.
Okay, gotcha.
She didn't use a Square app. She withdrew some cash, and which is a total of about $1,400. She used 100 of it to buy cocaine. And the remainder, she hired 2 hitmen to kill her parents.
Okay, hang on. Let's rewind a little bit. First of all, how much do we know how much cash she actually stole from her parents?
It was about $1,429.
$1,429. That's $1,429. She bought coke first.
Yes, for $100.
$100. And then she supposedly was hiring a hitman for only $1,300.
Yes, actually, she hired 2 hitmen. The first hitman, she gave him $400, and then the second hitman, she gave him $900 in change.
Okay, so here's my problem first. All right.
Wait. Before you go into that, I want to know what subreddit she's on to find these hitmen, these budget price hitmen, because I'm pretty sure it costs a lot more money to kill somebody.
Look, I don't know anything about hiring anyone to kill.
Yeah,
okay?
me either.
No idea. I've seen a lot of movies though, right? I mean, the movie's good. You hear a lot of stuff, back especially when all the stuff is going on the dark web and on tour, and there's those websites that you can hire or buy illegal things such as hitmen or weapons or drugs.
The dark well versed in the dark web.
Right.
Just kidding.
But as $400 for a hitman, someone that you're gonna hire to go kill someone that's not gonna tell on you or turn the gun on you.
Yeah.
For only $400.
Yeah, that's pretty cheap. It's almost like it was a Groupon ad for hitmen.
I would almost think so. I mean, come on. I mean, you don't have to be the smartest person in the world to know.
And then if
someone's only charging you $400, they're probably not reliable.
That's the craziest part about this whole story. Her parents, her mom's a nurse, her stepdad is a police lieutenant in a neighboring county.
So she wanted to off not only her parents, but 2 hard-serving, community-giving back individuals, a police officer and a nurse.
And the way they heard about it, the school resource officer overheard some kids talking about it.
Thank God for the SROs.
Oh man, thank God for that. He overheard them, some kids talking about it, alerted the parents and alerted police, and then they looked into it, found a paper trail, found the money, and arrested her. And now she's on 2 counts of criminal solicitation of murder and theft charges against her parents. And her parents are actively pursuing the charges against her.
As they should.
Yeah.
I mean,
just a note to my daughter. Even though when I take your shoes and your phone because you don't want to act right, you're not going to get me. You're never going to get me.
Never. So, okay. So how old was this girl again?
She was 17.
So she's in high school.
Yes.
Senior,
yeah,
probably.
most likely a senior in high school.
What is going on with Florida? Now we're starting younger and younger with the crazy.
Yeah, it really blows my mind, and I really don't know. Like the whole mental capacity breakdown of Florida as a whole is just on a downward spiral every week.
Every week. I did notice something kind of canny here as I'm kind of looking. Look how close our first 2 stories look alike.
They look so young.
Look how close they look alike.
Yeah, I know.
Absolutely crazy.
And the second girl, I mean, the girl from my story, the 17-year-old, if she was a couple shades darker, she'd be my daughter.
Oh, my gosh. Well, good thing she's not.
Thank God.
And hopefully, this almost sounds like another mental illness type thing. Hopefully, whatever family issues was going on weren't that bad that she felt like she had to hire somebody or try to even kill her parents, and she's going to get the help that she needs.
And a lot of times, it's usually something so silly or so ridiculous. The punishment isn't even warranted. So,
not at all.
Yeah, hopefully she gets the help she needs.
Well,
whether it be jail time or whatever, she just needs to get help.
Absolutely. No more hitman. Yeah. Shout out to Queen.
All right. Great song.
Oh man. So, yes, 2 crazy stories to start off.
Yeah,
already.
definitely.
So man, I'm getting a little parched, right?
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm a little parched myself. All right, and we're gonna move on into that for today's weekly Florida beverage. Tonight's beverage is brought to you by Cigar City Brewing Company. Cigar City Brewing Company is based out of Tampa, Florida. I can almost 100% guarantee you that they do not smell like pee. And
you're right. I've been here, and I can vouch for Cigar City. It's an awesome brewery.
Definitely solid brewery. They opened their doors in about 2009, and this is one of their premier IPAs. This is called the Alai. It's about 7.5% alcohol IPA. Intense orange tangerine flavors. Smooth finish, goes great with just about any type of meal, any type of cheese.
Ooh. Look at that alcohol volume.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
For this little can?
This is one of the main reasons why I chose this.
Of course. Okay, awesome. Yeah, like I said, I've been to Cigar City over in Tampa. Awesome brewery. Have not had this beer, so I'm excited to try it. Well, I'm going to pop it open.
Let's crack it open.
See how it is.
Talking about all this death and hitman making me thirsty. Cheers, good
Cheers.
sir.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's pretty good.
Okay. A little hoppy.
Very hoppy. If you like hops, this has all the hops.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not bad.
Not bad. Yeah, if you're a big fan of IPAs like myself, this is kind of up your alley. This is a really, really good beer. If I'm going to rate this beer out of 5, I'm definitely going to give this one a Cat 4.
A big Cat 4, huh? From Corn.
Definitely a Cat 4.
Wow. Well, this kind of goes back into one of our previous beers that we did a few shows ago. It was another IPA. I think it was Hop Gun, I believe.
Yes.
It was definitely hoppy, and once again, I'm not a fan of the hops, the flavor in the beer. Not very big of it. So because of that, and only because of that, I'm going to give it a 2 for me because it is very, very hoppy. However, if anyone's watching this, is watching this or listening to this on our podcast and hasn't been to Cigar City, please go visit Cigar
Definitely
City.
take
Awesome
a tour.
brewery, a
It's
lot of good
amazing.
beers. Everything from sours to stouts, which I love, to obviously the IPAs, to pales, to Hefeweizens, you name it.
It was actually a really tough choice between this one and another one of their famous beers. I can't remember the name offhand. It's got a blue label, but it was between those two beers, but I decided on the Alai, and
That's
I think
right.
I made a pretty solid choice.
Yeah, not too bad. So once again, shout out to Cigar City Brewing. You can visit them online at cigarcitybrewing.com or visit them over in Tampa if you ever get out there. All right, so moving right along, our next story tonight on Florida Man Weekly.
Ooh, pop collar.
Yes, we're throwing it back to the mid-2000s when we have the pop collar.
I feel like I'm back in Rollins.
Oh, absolutely. I'm looking for the double collar they're going on too, but he doesn't have it.
I've sadly done that.
Yes. Anyways, so this is 33-year-old Nathaniel Collier, who was arrested at Miami. In fact, he was arrested while at a Miami Dolphins game.
Ooh, that explains.
Yeah, it was probably the most exciting thing that happened during the Miami Dolphins games.
There's nothing else going on.
Oh, absolutely
no type
not.
of sports or scoring. So yeah.
Right. So what was Mr. Collier arrested for? You might be wondering. Well, let's just say this. Mr. Collier was hired by the Miami Dolphins to be one of the roaming beer tub guys.
Okay.
So if you've ever been to a pro game or even minor games, actually have them too, there's always people walking up and down, beer, get your beer here.
Yeah, get your beer, get your beer.
Peanuts.
That's hard. That's hard work. Those guys work hard.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like this guy thought that maybe he was working harder than what he was getting compensated for.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we're gonna a little twist of this. You might think that he may have stole from his employer.
I can already smell the scam.
Not quite the case. So a unsuspecting guy that was watching the game, holler for 2 beers. Mr. Collier came over, gave him 2 beers. The gentleman, the victim here, decided that he was going to pay with credit card. And these beer tub people they walk around with issued credit card scanners, so they can take the money and it goes to the stadium and to the owners. Somehow here, Mr. Nathaniel Collier, I think we're going to kind of circle back around to what we started, might have had a Square or some other credit card reader device and ended up charging to his personal account for these beers. Okay. Well, it doesn't stop there. Not only did he charge for the beers, he charged $724 for the 2 beers.
Whoa. Whoa. First rule of scamming is gradually increase.
Absolutely. Jeez. I mean, I don't know if he was making many sales that day or not, or was just trying to end it.
It sounds like a slow day.
Absolutely.
$700 for 2 beers.
Yeah, that comes out to a hefty $362 per beer, which I don't even think Heineken is going to be worth that.
Man, I feel like I'm back in Winter Park, paying those Park Avenue prices.
Miami City. I mean, this was in Miami, but I don't think the city prices are that high.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Pretty close, but not quite. So needless to say, as soon as the victim got a notification on his phone through his bank that, hey, someone tried to charge $724, he immediately disputed it. That he knew exactly what it was because it had just happened. He just got his beer. He notified a manager at the stadium. They called the cops. Mr. Collier here was arrested and immediately fired. And it currently is in the correctional center waiting $10,000 bond.
Wow.
To get out, all for $724.
That's crazy. You know what a godsend those instant notifications on your banking apps. Those are a lifesaver. No, I'll never forget when someone tried to use my credit card fraudulently, and I was able to catch them due to a notification. They're in California while I'm in Florida, trying to spend $5,000 at like the dollar store or something, some odd place that I would never. I mean, I go to the dollar store, but that type of amount, red flag, immediately, and I was able to shut the card down. Have you ever had a situation like that?
Yeah, I feel like I've been ID theft more than once, and I'm pretty sure my bank is trying to blame it on me because I change credit and debit cards. I feel like every 6 months because something always happens. But it's been a while actually now. But yeah, at the very beginning, it always seemed like about every 6 months or every 8 months, I would get a fraudulent charge on one of my cards, and I'd be like, why am I being charged like $400 dollars for somewhere up in Alaska or something, somewhere I've clearly never been.
So I wonder if you're the guy that's responding to all those Prince of Arabia emails that's holding money in escrow and they just need your social security
Look,
number.
My uncle was reaching out for help, okay? I'm trying to help out family, all right? He said he's going to split it.
That is
or the general from the war who found all this money, right?
That's
I mean, it holds a special place in my heart, so... But anyways, yep. So those are our first 3 stories tonight. Crazy. Our stories got good beer. Yeah. What's next?
All right. Next up, we have our Florida versus the World segment. This one's coming out of Thomasville, North Carolina. This is a pretty crazy story.
They look crazy.
Oh man! Basically, Alice Jean was indicted for trading her 2-year-old daughter for a used car. Back in 2018. And she was just recently charged on this case because the other 2 people involved, which were the quote-unquote adopted parents, Tina Marie Chavez and Vincenio Mendoza. I'm sure I butchered that
already
name.
Sounds sketchy.
They apparently traded their it was a Chrysler for the 2-year-old. So the 2-year-old got sick. They took the girl to the doctor. The nurses started asking for paperwork about her, birth certificate, all that stuff.
Yep.
And they said she was adopted and she was the original parent. Then the lady changed her story again. Then the nurses notified the police, and then the story came out that it was an illegal adoption for a car, and now everyone's in jail.
Yes.
pending charges, and I cannot believe that anybody would do something like that to a child. But more importantly, I feel like they could have got a better car.
What did they get?
It was like a Chrysler LeBaron or something. I feel like you really could have got a Tesla,
like an 80 or something,
at or an Audi or something.
All right, so North Carolina North Carolina. You have my love. You have a special place in my heart. I was raised there. Did a lot of growing up in North Carolina throughout the years. Like I said, I am originally from here, and I've been here as well. What the hell is going on in North Carolina right now? You guys are not supposed to be rivaling Florida.
Man, as soon as I saw the headline on this, I said, this reeks of Florida. If it would have just said Pinellas County, it would have it just would have made sense.
Like, oh, yep.
Like, oh, okay.
Happen. Right.
Yeah, they're just another day.
Yeah. I will give a shout out to that nurse, though, and to all our first responders who are constantly being trained and trying to notify any sort of trafficking, abuse, or anything like that. Thank goodness for her that she was able to kind of notice something was a little iffy, a little wrong, and make the appropriate actions. To
Definitely. Yeah, and they took her to the hospital due to an allergic reaction, but they also noticed bruising on her, and that prompted an additional in-depth dive into the background information of the girl. So shout out to our definitely first responders, nurses, and everybody that keeps our kids safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Crazy. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be hard to beat. I believe. I mean, that was a good one. Crazy people. Hopefully they'll be locked away for a long time. We'll see what happens from there. My pick this week comes all the way from China.
Ooh.
Right, China. I've always wanted to visit China. Haven't had a chance to go yet.
I definitely would like to either visit China or Japan because I heard those vending machines there are pretty awesome.
Crazy tech out there. But China's just growing. That's some nice country, like very, very nice areas. But getting back to the story, this comes from China. And we've all been on an airplane, or most of us, I assume, have been on an airplane or know about airplanes, right? And so you might remember,
magic,
right? Somehow it goes up in the air and it flies, and
it's fine.
It's crazy. Well, we all know that, or assumed by watching movies, that there's special seats in an airplane, and they're the ones that are sitting next to an emergency exit. And usually when you're flying, before they take off, you get a nice little spiel from the flight attendant, whoever it may be. It says, hey, we want to make sure that you understand your responsibilities of sitting in the seat. Can you open the door if needed? Can you help our passengers out? All that good stuff.
Yeah, basically don't jump out. Don't freak out everybody else.
All right. Well, apparently what our flight attendants are going to be doing, this was a Xi'an, a Xi'an Air flight. They're going to have to be adding something else to their spiel now. The new spiel is that no matter how stuffy or hot you might get, you are not allowed to open an emergency exit to ventilate the cabin. That's right. A woman in China was getting a little too hot on the airplane. I've been there. You've been sitting on the tarmac. You're waiting. You got people next to you. The air's not working, right? And you're trying to find a window to roll down. Well, no windows in airplanes. Yeah. The next best thing, the emergency exit door.
This sounds, I swear this is from a movie in the 80s.
Yeah, it almost sounds like it, doesn't it? Golly. Yep. So once again, this lady decided that it was way too hot, stuffy. She opened the door. So, of course, immediately the takeoff was aborted. This is an actual picture of that door that is open. As you can see, they're just kind of sitting there. And all the passengers are like, great. Now our flight, which was already running late and behind, is going to be even more late.
Can you imagine if you're the lady closest to the window and you're like, what the F?
Yeah, this lady definitely is not a frequent flyer. So that was my quick story. Man, it gets hot in airplanes, but don't open that emergency exit.
Yeah, definitely don't open that emergency exit unless you see a gremlin or something. Then maybe that's okay. All right, next up we got our weekly Florida feels, because Florida isn't always about theft and hitman. This one comes straight out of Siesta Key. Love that place. I went there for a friend of mine and his bachelor party. Great place.
Siesta Key's a good place.
So one of the bars there, the Siesta Key Oyster Bar, is one of those bars where you have the money stapled to the wall. You can sign it and staple it all over the bar area and the restaurant.
Right. Yeah,
so,
a bunch of restaurants like that around.
Due to the damage in the Bahamas, that happened recently, they wanted to put their money where their mouth was and donate the money off their wall to help the victims in the Bahamas.
Right.
And astoundingly, they were able to pull off about $14,000.
Wow. 14 grand stapled money on the wall.
14 grand stapled to the wall. And I am 99% sure. I've been to this bar, and I did not know it was that much money stapled to that bar.
I don't think anyone knew that money might not be on there.
And one of the fascinating things is they weren't able to they didn't clear off the wall to get that 14 grand.
Oh, really?
So there's a whole lot more money there, but it's amazing. Like, I'm sure I have $1 there for me and my buddies where we signed it and stapled it. But
right?
it's really good to see, you know, Florida areas helping the Bahamas, their tourism, and all the people affected by the hurricane down there.
Yeah, and absolutely, that is awesome. And I think I heard this same bar, they tend to strip the wall every few years or so and pick some sort of charity or something to
and donate all that money to charity.
Right. Once again, what was the name of that bar again?
The Siesta Key Oyster Bar.
That's right, Siesta Key Oyster Bar. Go visit, go put $1 up, because you could probably be assured that $1 one day is going to go to help someone in need.
Definitely.
We actually have one more Florida Field story.
Man, good stuff
tonight.
coming out of Florida.
It is a good thing coming out of Florida, right? So we're trying to recoup our stories. This kind of ties in with the current month of October, and as we all know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And this is a 17-year-old out of Volusia County, believe it or not.
Go Volusia, 386.
Right, the 386, right? This young gentleman here, 17-year-old, I believe Rishi. I'm apologizing if I pronounce your name wrong.
Oh, you're just butchering it.
He wants to be a doctor when he gets older, right? Go to med school, study hard, and help out people. Well, what he's doing now, and what he did do, he was able to raise $5,000.
Wow.
Which is the equivalent of 100 free mammograms that he donated to a facility to be able to give to women who need mammogram screenings.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Absolutely.
Mammogram, you can definitely get checked. When you get checked often, you can spot things way ahead of time before they become serious.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, I think this was definitely worth mentioning, just due to, one, him being so young, once again, because we had another 17-year-old earlier in the show that wasn't so good. But here is a 17-year-old who's doing very well, trying to help out people as much as he can, and it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and he has something to do with that.
That is awesome. So, yeah, definitely good to see our younger generation doing some good stuff instead of trying to kill their parents.
Yeah, once again, thank you so much, Rishi. Hopefully those 100 coupons get used well for anyone who's looking to get mammograms. Kind of continuing that feel, because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we kind of want to bring up a few websites and charities that have a lot to do with breast cancer awareness. Of course, everyone has probably heard of Susan G. Komen. I believe we all have. Mm-hmm. She's kind of the one that has coined the pink ribbon, which is why a lot of us wear pink throughout the month of October. All the professional teams, a lot of logos go to pink.
Even my son plays football for the Ormond Pride, and they have pink mouth guards and pink socks for breast cancer. Awesome. So if you're looking at some way to help with allowing even more women to even get mammograms, or more money to go into research to help maybe fight this sort of cancerous thing, which is all horrible. And breast cancer is the number one killer cancer for women. That's right. Save those tatas.
That's right. Save the tatas. We have Susan G. Komen. Definitely check them out. You also have, I believe this is the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. bcrf.org here. They also take a lot of donation, do a lot of research. And lastly, we have here the National Breast Cancer Foundation Incorporated. So 3 really good foundations and charities that you can kind of give to allow the research to continue, to help women that may not be able to afford mammograms get mammograms. And we do encourage anyone, if you're a female watching, or if you have any female in your life, to encourage them to go speak with their doctor, to speak with them when may be a good time to start getting mammograms. That's all based off of you and your doctor, so make sure you have those conversations.
Yeah, definitely get checked out. I'm usually one type of person that I don't really like to go to the doctor, but my parents have kind of always instilled in me, just go get checked out, because if they can spot something early that might be life-threatening, it's better for everybody. So even if you don't like to go to the doctor, sometimes you just got to suck it up and just go get checked out.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that brings us to the end of the show.
Definitely. Looks like we're at the end of the show. We definitely want to encourage everybody to come listen to our show, check out our live stream. You can email us any of your Florida Man stories at stories@floridamantoday.com.
That's right. Email them in.
Visit floridamantoday.com. Visit us on social media at Florida Man Today on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Let's just clear that up real quick. It's at FL Man. So the Florida is abbreviated
FL Man.
at
Okay, I'm sorry.
FLMantoday.com. We don't want you going to our competitors.
We don't want you going to the enemy.
All right. Check us out, FLMantoday.com, on all 3 social medias at FLManToday. Once again, emails, stories at FLMantoday.com. I am Stubbs.
And I'm Corn.
And we hope you have a wonderful week and stay classy, Florida.
Happy Sunday. Take it easy.